Okay, ladies and gentlemen, so to buy a property in the Northern Beaches, people look at the headline figure of 650,000. Can't afford it. But when you break it down, which is what we're going to do this morning with you with some tools, can it cost you $70 a week if you're borrowing the whole amount? We're going to tell you, stay tuned. Billy Jury, the old man stuck in a young man's body, expert for first home buyers. How are you this morning?
I'm good. This topic sounds too good to be true. Have you been talking with ChatGPT again over the weekend?
We've become really close. But it's not. I'm using ChatGPT with buyers live in meetings. I used to use a calculator from the school days, and
Yeah.
it's not. It's not your be all end all. You're still going to know what to plug in or what to ask, or you've sort of got to, you've got to be thinking about it a little bit actively. But we're going to give you those tools this morning on how to do this. You will be able to run through an open house, come out and say, I'm going to do that. You can be an accountant, you can be a mortgage broker, you can be a real estate agent, you can be an investor, you can be a landlord, you can a banker and run all your numbers in ChatGPT, and it'll tell you what's going to cost. We're going to show you
5
this
minutes
morning.
without picking up the phone. So can we just give like an example? Look at this little puppy. 590 guide. This is really realistic to what we're talking about this morning. This is for sale in DY right now.
Beautiful.
You can see my screen moving, I hope. I'm going to flick through some photos.
Really beautiful.
Really nice and renovated. Building's only 7 years old. Doesn't need any money spent on it. Big reason first-time buyers like this is because all their savings go towards the deposits. They've got no more money for kitchen and bathroom renovations, but you don't need to do that here. It's also got a lift, security parking right out front of the lift.
Oh, that's a good space.
It's got a beautiful little residence garden, and it's right in the heart of DY. So the shops are across the road, the beeline's down the road, the beach is walking distance. You can't tell me that this isn't a good
Look
lifestyle.
at that floor plan. Look at that
You want
sales
more?
person.
There you go.
Walk
There you
in, beds there, big living
I've seen privacy screens in there as well. So this thing's 62 square meters total. It's 41 square meters internal, plus the winter garden's 8 square meters. So it ticks all the boxes. There's no reason you'll have trouble getting finance on this. So let's talk about it.
Okay. Bring out the beast.
What do I do? I brought the beast up. I'm in ChatGPT.
Okay. Now in ChatGPT, guys, on the bottom right, there's a bubble most people don't use. There it is, that black button there.
Hit it.
Billy, release the hounds. Do you want to do it?
No, you do it.
Okay. Hi, ChatGPT. I just want you to run some quick numbers on a unit that I'm looking at. The unit is around 600,000 and the interest rates today are, I think, about sort of 5.5%. Can you run interest only for me on this scenario? The strata is 940 a quarter. The water is 172 per quarter. The council rates are 450 per quarter. And the rent coming in, I reckon if I get a good rent, will be around 640 per week. Can you please run for me very quickly a net position of what it will cost me out of my pocket per week to own this property, assuming I borrow all of the money?
Weekly only. Absolutely. Let's break that down quickly for you. So if the unit's around 600,000 and you're looking at a 5.5% interest only loan, the annual interest would be roughly $33,000. If we turn that into a weekly amount, that's about $634 per week in interest alone. Now, on top of that, we got the quarterly costs. Strata is $940 a quarter, water is $172 a quarter, and council's $450 a quarter. Add those up for the quarter, and you get about $1,562 total per quarter. Divide that by 16 weeks, and you're looking at roughly $120 per week in holding costs. So together, interest plus those weekly running costs is about $634 plus 120, so roughly $754 per week total out of pocket. Then you get $640 a week in rent, which offsets that. Subtract the $640 in rent from the $754 in total costs, and you're left with about $114 a week out of your pocket to hold the property. So bottom line, you're looking at around $114 per week net cost after rent if you're borrowing the full amount. Let me know if you need any more details.
That's awesome, but can you also add my negative gearing, because I am earning 120,000 per year? Just check my tax rate. I'm not sure what tax I'm paying, but for instance, in the 2025 year, if I'm earning 120,000, can you give me the negative gearing after tax position of what it would have cost me per week to own this property?
Absolutely. Let's factor in the negative gearing aspect for you. So with an income of about $120,000 in 2025, you're probably looking at a marginal tax rate in New South Wales around 32.5% to 37%, depending on exact brackets. Let's just use roughly about 34% for simplicity. We can always tweak it if you need more precision. So we said the property would cost you about $114 per week out of pocket before tax. That's your negative gearing amount, basically the rental loss each week. Now, with negative gearing, you can offset that rental loss against your taxable income. So if you're losing $114 a week, multiply by 35% your tax rate, and you get roughly $39 a week in tax savings. Subtract that $39 tax benefit from your $114 per week after tax. So just to wrap that up, after factoring in negative gearing at around that tax rate, you'd be out of pocket about $75 a week instead of $114.
Wow.
So that's your net.
Wow.
Yeah, it's pretty neat how the numbers shift once you take that tax benefit into account. It definitely makes the weekly cost a bit more manageable. If you got any more scenarios or anything else you want to run through, just let me know.
Thank you. And then I like the fact that when you cross out of that, it actually gives you a transcript. And then you can build a project for this where you can go in, plug in the new numbers for a new property, and it will basically give you a new analysis each time. Thank you.
Wow. Now, guys and girls, I think there's a couple of things here. You've got to know the data to plug in. So asking the agent, strata, water, council, rent is important. You've got to know where your interest rates are sitting. You've got to know that if you're a first home buyer, you can legally rent out the property. You should try to live in there. You have to live in there legally within the year, but you can move back out and rent it out. You should know you're paying no stamp duty if you're first home buyer, so you're saving 25, 30 odd grand. And once you know that, you should know also that your deposit's only going to have to be about 30 grand, which will
No lender's
right,
mortgage insurance.
and no LMI if you're successful with that. So there's some power there for everyone within ChatGPT. What do you think, Bill?
I think that property not being affordable is it's an overhyped topic. It's never been affordable. It has got harder relative to income. The biggest problem I'm finding clients with at the moment is actually serviceability. It's getting to the $120,000 income to get the loan. That's probably the biggest trouble, because as you can see, if you're living at home, you don't need $120,000 income to service a mortgage of $100 a week. You just don't. But the banks need that pay slip to get you there in the first place. So that's probably the biggest challenge. I think as a first home buyer, work on getting a second job, boost your income as much as you can, cut your expenses as much as you can, but take advantage of the help that's on the table. And you can see from a real life case study here, you can get a foot in the door. And people come through and say, oh, I'm not buying a studio. But it's a stepping stone. And this thing will rent really well after you've moved out. And that's another really important thing to look for in your first place. Doesn't need to be a forever home, just needs to be really adaptable.
And my parents, like for instance, my mum always had 3 jobs. So I don't know. I think at this stage, to get the loan, I don't think you're going to need it to support the loan, but to stack up with the bank, get a couple of jobs. Because I know growing up, everyone I knew had 2 or 3 jobs. You don't really hear of that anymore,
Yeah.
like you used to. But even if it's just for the purpose of stacking up, getting the loan, and getting comfortable with the loan, you can always drop away the jobs once you're comfy.
Yeah, I reckon there's like a 6-month teething process after buying where it hurts a little bit. You're getting used to a new spending pattern. It's a little bit like taking on a new expensive phone bill, but after you
Yeah.
set yourself up, it just comes out and it's a direct debit. It's just another expense. Rent comes in, mortgage goes out. Make that a weekly process.
Big time.
So there you go. Hope that helps.
That is ChatGPT. That is first home buyer information. How to get your hands on it fast and run some data fast. And I just think that's a great property as well. While we're here, that is a cracker of a property that you're selling there, Bill.
Yeah, 2 reasons I like it. 1, doesn't need any costs. Well, 3 reasons. 2, it's in a building where if things do come up in the future, there's enough units to cover costs really well. And 3, it'll rent itself all day long. The applications we're getting through some of these 1-bedroom apartments at the moment is crazy. I'll give you an example. I put one live, a rental property live, 9 o'clock on Friday evening last week. On Saturday morning at 10 o'clock, had 7 groups through the property.
Yeah, wow. And not only that, rents are going to go up and interest rates are going to go down with an asset like that.
Yeah, so stay tuned. I think now's a great time to buy. If you need any help, just talk with a mortgage broker first. Get us in the loop, and we'll get out there looking for you.
Jump on our website, look at that property. What's the address?
A307 5 Maramba Road. It's going to sell today. You do need to call me quickly, but I will keep you in the loop with any others as well.
Love you. See you. Bye.
See ya.